School Freeware's Visual Basic Express 2010 Tutorials. Tutorial 9. Random Numbers. Randomizing numbers is easy, but there are a few pitfalls that we need to be careful of. So this tutorial will display random numbers to show some of the pitfalls. I like to place the numbers 1 through 10 into a text box. I've already created the form. This is text box 1, and its multi-line is set to true within the properties, so you can place many lines within this text box. Here is button 1, so I'll just go straight into button 1. And I'll put a large amount of numbers into the text box. So I'm going to need a loop, dim x as integer. Alright. And I'll call randomize. So now the computer will go into a randomize function, which will help us out. And now the loop for x equals 1 to 100. That should be a good enough sample. And we'll just do text box 1.append text and place the numbers into the text box that way. Now the numbers need to be converted to a string, so this converts str, and call rnd, which is random, for 10 numbers. And I hope that works, so I'll go ahead and run. And well, we get a bunch of floating point. That's not right. So maybe if I convert the floating point to an integer, so int, and I'll just put rnd star 10 within the int function, converting it to an integer. Go ahead, run. And I get 0 through 9, so no 10s in there. Alright, well maybe if I try 11, we'll see what happens here. 0 through 10, well that doesn't give me 1 through 10, but it's a little closer, I guess. Let's try 10 plus 1. So if I get 0 through 9 here and add 1, maybe it'll give me 1 through 10. Well, I got 10 and I got 1. No zeros, no 11s. Everything else looks pretty good in between. That looks good. Now, if we forget to put the randomization function in, the randomize, and run, the numbers appear to be random. However, if we write the numbers down, I'll just put 5 numbers down here, the first 5. That'll tell the whole story. 86634. Close this down, run. 86634. Looks like the same numbers are popping up. So getting rid of the randomize will not exactly randomize the numbers. We'll just get the same numbers up there, which appear to be random, but are really not. So I'll put randomize back in. And run. And now I have different numbers that are random. Okay, very good. Now let's work with a variable to hold the random numbers. So I'll just have num1 as integer. And I'll place num1 within the loop equals, and I'll take this random calculation out verbatim. Okay, and I'll just delete. And we're dealing with an integer, so I don't have to convert to an integer anymore. And let's put num1 with a string conversion inside. Go ahead, run. And I get 1 through 11. Well, that doesn't work. Maybe if I get rid of the plus 1 there. 0 through 10. 9. 0 through 9. Okay, well maybe if we do 9 plus 1. And now I get 1 through 10. No zeros, no 11s, everything in between. Excellent. So depending on what you're doing, if you're just printing the random numbers directly within the text box, we'll have to use a different formula than if we were just putting it right into an integer. So there are some of the pitfalls with dealing with random numbers.